Hello there guys, here I have a review on the new Hot Toys The Child figure from Star Wars. Now this is a life-size figure, or doll, whatever you want to call it. I'd call it figure. Now this figure was supposed to be out back in February/March, but there was a lot of delays with it. I contacted Sideshow on Instagram and they said that they received the first batch of them a couple months ago, but it was a very small amount and they still had yet received the other batch from Hot Toys in Hong Kong. And so they finally received them, and I finally got them a couple months after they originally were planning to release these figures. Now, of course, this review is a bit different than my other ones because of the size of it. You know, I have to get in front of the camera to do the review and all that. So I knew the figure was gonna be big, but the box, I feel like it's a little bit bigger than I expected. I mean, obviously it's still a big figure, so I mean the box does its purpose of fitting everything inside. So it's a big Hot Toys box. It has this cover with the figure on it. This is the prototype picture, not like the final product picture, which I will get into later. On here it has like a 3D print of Star Wars. You know, it has texture on it. On the bottom it says life size. On the side you get this design that kind of looks like a bit like a backpack, almost like that pod thing where he gets inside of. I think it has a similar design to that. On the back, I believe these are the name of the artists that worked on the figure. On the side you got the same design. On the top they just say Star Wars. So then you slide that cover off. It's a bit, the way you open the box is a bit different than other Sideshow Hot Toys figures that I've had. I've only had a handful of them. So you slide this off, which is typical for a Hot Toys figure. Then you put that aside. And then you get this inside. Very nice. Say Star Wars there. Also like has a different texture to it. Very nice. On here says the child and the figure number. And then you open this kind of like a book bag. I already took the figure out, but you would see him in there. And then I thought you would probably open the bottom too, so you could pull this out. But pretty much what you have to do is you have to get this plastic and pull it up all the way to the top for you to be able to take it off and take the figure and all his accessories out. And I do believe it has this magnet on the border so that you can close it. Alright, so now here we have the figure itself, but first I'll of course get to his accessories. Now right out of the box, this is an amazing figure. It's very lifelike, very cool. I don't have the Sideshow one to compare it to, but I personally prefer actual figures over statues, given obviously for the fact that you can pose them and stuff like that. So I will get to his accessories first, so let me put them aside for a second. But awesome figure. I do have my little nitpicks, but it's still an awesome figure. First accessory we have is the knob that he loves to play with from Mando's ship. I actually thought this was going to be real metal. It's just plastic. It would have been cool if it would have been like an actual metal piece given his price point. So he just has that, and it has a magnet inside of it which he can use it to put on his hand, which I'll show you guys later. He does bring 3 pairs of hands. One pair of hands kind of resting, I guess you could say. They're not really, you know, they look like they could be resting or maybe grabbing an object. Let me zoom in more so you guys can see more details on there. As you can see, very nicely detailed on the nails. The skin looks very cool, very nice. On the hand you do get some red shading, or pinkish. The other one's pretty much the same, so I'm only going to show you guys one of them for each pair. Then the second pair is kind of like using the force hand. You know, he's kind of open, like maybe he's pushing you with the force or something, or grabbing something with the force. Again, the same amount of detailing. The palms have a blush to them. The nails have very nice detailing on them, and it's very nice. It's pretty cool. It'd be awesome if they made a life-size Yoda figure instead of a statue. Very nice. And then he does bring a second set of ears, which I feel for the difference in terms of like the position of the ears, I think they should have just like included just one pair or make them maybe posable with a wire. But let me show you guys how they look. So let me see for the other. Okay, it's here. So I do have a magnet. The magnet is fairly strong. You know, like you literally just have to put it like a little bit close and it clicks into place. I thought the seams would be a big deal. I thought they would be kind of noticeable, but they're not too much of a big deal. They're alright. And now the ears are a hard plastic with no, they're fully hard plastic. So with this other set of ears, As you can see, this one's like aiming down, kind of like maybe he's sad or he's kind of like, oh, adopt me kind of face, cute puppy face. And then he has the regular ears. So that's how he looks. Let me put him on both. See how, I haven't tried it on both yet. I just literally got this guy today. I'm just trying this out. Oh, he does look nice. So, I personally prefer him with the other ears, but these don't look bad. Maybe it might help you fit him into where you have him displayed, or where you will display him. Maybe if it's a detail, maybe having those downward ears might save some space in the detail. So let me get to, he brings a Mythosaurus necklace, which I also thought was going to be metal, but it's just very light plastic, it barely weighs anything. And then you have the string on there to put on his neck, which I really don't feel like untangling it. And then it's pretty basic necklace. Let me get to the stand. Now, they did deceive me a bit with the stand. I didn't know this until I got it. Let me take him off. He's a bit hard to stand on his own, so for most of the review I'll have him on the stand to make sure he doesn't fall over or anything. So the stand, very nice. This is actually my first ever Star Wars Hot Toys figure. All the Hot Toys that I've owned, I've literally sold them to get the next one that I own. And for this guy, I sold my Baby Groot to get him. But I never had Star Wars Hot Toys. Very nice stand. So I thought it'd be cool if this lit up red or something. And once I got it, I noticed it had this little battery thing in the middle. But I didn't notice it had a button, so I assumed maybe this was a button. It's just like a little piece of sponge. So I unscrewed the battery thingy, and there's no like functioning thing inside the hole. It's just like a hole with the battery logos, but it has no actual functioning things. And I thought here, I don't know if you'll see it on the video. Yeah, you can. No, I thought those were gonna be lights, but the battery thing is like a fake hole. I'm guessing maybe they recycled a stand from another figure and took out the battery components and the light up components and just put a different name, which is disappointing. I mean, the lights make sense if it's like, you know, like a regular, like, you know, 1/6 scale character, like maybe Darth Vader or Darth Maul, whatever. So given the character we get with Grogu, I know it doesn't make too much sense to have like cool intimidating lights on him, but so under his thing he does have a little hole right there which you can put the see-through stand stick into. So like I said, I'll pretty much do the whole review with him on the stand just to avoid him tipping over. Now, I do want to point one thing out. I point this out in every single video review I do for cloth figures. I apologize if I leave any articulation points out of this review. Since they're cloth, you know, I obviously can't see the joints. And also, given that it's a Hot Toys figure, you know, I like to think that they're delicate. They are delicate, so I will be a lot more careful with articulating him in this review. So before I get to like the articulation and all that, I just wanted to show you guys a quick 360 of the figure. Very, very nice. He does have the little hairs on the top of the head. He doesn't have it on the ears. He should have it on the ears, but he doesn't. The eyes are just amazing. Look at that. One small complaint I do have is that on the prototype images, he did seem, I guess, more lifelike. And I feel like with what we got, I'm not saying it's not lifelike, but I do feel like they made him look a bit more cute, quote unquote. And I feel like that takes a bit away from the figure. Like, I don't know if it was intentional or whatever, but I do feel like they tried to cutify him, and that ended up compromising the accuracy of his look. I'm not sure, but I think maybe something with the mouth, or maybe it's a side effect of making the jaw a movable jaw, which I believe the prototype was just like, you know, didn't have that. So maybe due to the material they use on the face, it changed his facial features a bit, because this one does have, it has like a rubbery face, which I'm guessing it's like a shell they put. And then so you can move his mouth, you can open it and close it. Let me zoom in on the little teeth. They're really cute. You can see his little tongue in there and everything. So I did think it was gonna have like certain things, like sets it clicks into, but it's kind of like a free-for-all. You could just move it a little bit if you want, or you can move it a lot, or you could close it completely. That's a pretty cool feature, and as you can see, it's like rubbery, his face. So that's pretty cool. I like having him with his mouth slightly open, like right before it closes right there. So let me zoom out do a quick 360. The cloth it feels very nice. It feels thick. It feels like good quality. You know, like you're not gonna get like a string, like a thread sticking out from it. There you have the other hand that it comes with inside the box. That one's kind of in between opening and resting. And then the other hand on the other side, it's kind of closed, which is the one they put the shifter knob in. Let me show you guys how that works. So it kind of has like a small indentation there already, and on the bottom side, so it does bounce like a ping pong ball. So on the bottom side of the shifter knob, yes, it has a magnet, and yes, falls right into place, which is very nice. I did find the hands pretty easy to pop out. When I was taking them out of the box, I accidentally popped them off, so it was pretty easy to pop them out. My only complaint, to be honest, is the fact that he is a little bit hard to stand without the stand. So I don't know where you guys are gonna display him, but if you have a detop shelf like I do, which is where I was planning on displaying him, if I put him with a stand, he won't quite fit. So that kind of sucks. I do have another place to display him, but I really want to put him inside that stand. Let me zoom in on the hairs for you guys. Look at the little hairs, they're so nice. And the best part is I think they're actually like plugged in there. They're not like glued or anything. I don't really want to pull on them, but let me try to like tug on some of them. Yeah, they're definitely like plugged into the skin, which is amazing. Very lifelike, very cool. And I mean, it's a pretty basic figure, you know. It's literally just like Yoda with a robe. There isn't like a whole lot of, you know, things to go over in terms of like, oh, look at this little detail, and stuff like that. It does smell a lot like rubber when you take them out of the box. I personally, I like that new toy smell. There are different kinds, of course, plastic, rubber, whatever. But his, it wasn't a bad one. So of course on the robe, it might be a bit hard to see because of the lighting I have, but like the lighting makes the robe look cleaner than it is, how I'm seeing it on the camera monitor. But in person, it does have very nice weathering. Like especially like at the bottom, it's a bit darker than the rest of the robe. And I feel like the camera just really isn't picking up all those little details, like in terms of the coloring of the robe, which is kind of sucks because you know, I'm guessing you guys are watching this because you want to buy him and you want to see someone else's figure, you know, to see, you know, if it was like, oh, okay, this is good, I'll buy it. But yeah, the robe definitely does have a lot more weathering than it looks like on camera. It's not really picking up those nice shades that well. But on the bottom half, it is like darker, it does look dirtier. Honestly, videos do not do him justice. Like I saw a lot of his reviews, I thought he looked a bit fake or cartoony in the videos, and now that I have him in hand, he's just like, wow, he definitely doesn't look cartoony or fake or anything like that. Let me pull this up, show you guys what he looks like underneath. So he does seem to have like some chicken legs type of thing going on. Let me see if I can roll this up and get it to stay there. So he does have like some chicken legs type of thing going on there. There you can see his little feet. Obviously they didn't, as you can see, they didn't really go into, let me just take them off the stand. Go into like all the details in that, you know, they only sculpted / painted up to the halfway point, which is pretty much most of what you'll see. It is pretty much similar to his hands, the same detailing and stuff like that on the bottom. They are like dirty or pinkish. It's very nice. His feet really aren't that articulated. You could just kind of move this right here, like a little chicken leg, and swivel the bottom half of that, and go forward to, you could get him in this, let me zoom out for this. You can get him in a sitting position. Boom. But it doesn't have a knee bend or anything like that, which would have been nice. I don't really think you would probably even need that when it comes to posing this figure. But, you know, extra articulation is always nice. Especially with a figure where you don't really get to see those joints, you know, because the clothing, you know, hides all that. So let me show you guys some more of his articulation. Like I said, sorry if I feel like I don't do such a good job with articulation because, once again, you know, Hot Toys is delicate and I really don't want to risk damaging this guy. So, his arms, you could bend his arms. Definitely bend his arms. I tried that already. Let me zoom out for you guys. So he does have a bend in his arms. Let me move this up so I can show you guys. So you could bend it 90 degrees, single jointed. You could put the shifter knob in his hand or the Mythosaurus necklace, whatever. And then it goes down. Does he have a swivel? No, not really. So you could bring, I assume, I hope so. I really don't want to push it more because I do feel it's resisting a bit, but I believe that's the max he could put his arms out. They probably could go higher, but I do feel a bit of a resistance and I don't want to risk damaging anything. A lot of the articulation, which I thought it wouldn't be, is actually restricted a bit by the cloak. So you can kind of put his arms up, like I said before. For the other, like putting it up, I do feel a bit of restriction while putting it forward. So I don't want to risk damaging anything. I'm pretty sure maybe if you want, you guys could like stretch out the arm of the robe and look inside and see what type of joint that is that he has there, and see if you guys feel safe moving that. He doesn't have an ab crunch. I guess, he's technically a figure, but he's kind of like a statue. Definitely not a statue, obviously, but you know, he is a bit limited on the articulation side of things, which I did not expect. I do feel a joint there. Yeah, I feel like the articulation is a bit more restricted than I thought it would be. I really don't want to force it because I do feel like it's resisting to do that movement. So let me show you guys how far down he looks down. He actually does, oh shit, he looks down quite a lot. It looks funny when the thing covers his mouth. But he doesn't look up quite a lot. No, he pretty much looks like almost looks straight, but yes, a little bit slightly up. On the camera, based on the angle where I have the camera, it does look like he's looking higher, but it's kind of like he is at eye level, a tiny bit higher. And of course you could rotate his head. The bottom of his neck, well, not the bottom of his neck, the bottom, like the cloth where it ends, the bottom one under this is tucked under his neck. So you probably want to like wrinkle that up a bit so you hide that little, I guess you could say, imperfection. Not imperfection, but you know where you can obviously tell that it's a toy. I think that's it, to be honest. Like I said, I don't want to push the articulation too much, so it seems that he does have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 points of articulation, which I think is what it said on the website as well. If you count the swivel on the arm and the leg as articulation, which I guess, it could count as articulation. Yeah, technically it is, but I don't really count swivels as like, in a figure like this, that's too much articulation. Let me zoom into the face, show you guys some detailing. Very nice, I mean, look at that. And with this light I have right here, oh my god, look at those eyes. Amazing. The pores in his skin and everything, it just looks great. So if you guys are a Star Wars fan, if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, you know, if you have $400 lying around to waste on this guy, I do recommend him. Personally, if it would have been out of my own pocket, I probably wouldn't have gotten him, because $400 is a bit steep. Obviously I do know the quality of this figure and the amount of work that I went to it. I'm not saying it's not worth the $400, I'm just saying for a collector's item it is quite a lot. And the only reason I got him is because I sold another Hot Toys figure of mine for the same price. But I mean, if you have the money and you love Star Wars, I do recommend him. I mean, he's a great figure. Like, I mean, and the fact he is life size and he's not just like a one scale figure, like an average regular one scale figure, makes it a whole lot better. I mean, come on, life size Grogu. Like, I have a life size Chucky over here, which I also ended up getting because I sold my other life size Chucky. But anyways, back to Grogu. So, great figure. I definitely recommend him if you guys want to go ahead and get yourself a life-size Grogu figure. Would I recommend him over the Sideshow one? Based off the pictures I've seen and the comparison videos I've seen, I would say yes. But it all depends if you guys want a figure or if you guys want a statue. Let me show you guys the bottom of the neck. I didn't really show you guys a whole lot of that. So, I do feel the Sideshow one looks a bit more like the show in terms of that they didn't try to make him look cuter. They just made him look real. But in my preference, I personally, leaving us aside the fact that he's a figure. Let's say both of them would have been a figure, I would have gone for this one. I just like how it looks better. And then let me show you guys a bit more of the robe. The end parts here on the arms. So that's pretty much, it's not actually rolled, it is rolled up, but it is not fully rolled up, it's like sewn, so you can't really like unroll it. Yeah, it feels very nice, it feels very thick, it feels almost like a burlap sack. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like my channel, if you like Grogu, please hit the like and subscribe button. And again, thanks for watching.